Hey there, fight fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Ranch Boxing Podcast, UFC edition. We had a couple of technical difficulties here, but we were able to get back up. Adog from Cali here, joining us once again. How's it going, man?
Everything's good, man. Thanks for having me again and getting through
Yeah, man.
this.
You look great. I can see you crystal clear. I like it, man. Okay. You know what else was crystal clear or right on the nose? Your picks from last time, man. I know we went over it, but your picks from last time were perfect. They were right on. All right. Let's
Thank
give
you.
you a shot. There you go. All right, cool.
Awesome.
But we're back to our monthlies now, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, UFC 320, and this show looks great on paper, man. A lot of names, man. What do you think?
Oh, it looks like a great card on paper, and like we always say, we hope it delivers.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Let's see. We have more questions than answers, or more answers than questions after this one. So let's get right to it. Let's get started for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Magomedov Ankalaev, the champion, versus the former champion Alex Pereira, number one. So I don't know what you have, but I have Ankalaev the favorite by negative 285, and Pereira is a plus 230.
Yeah, right there.
Dog.
I got a little bit
Okay.
less, but right in that ballpark.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, man, how you see this one turning out? Pereira getting the rematch right away from his loss.
Yeah, man, I like it. I think Pereira has done enough. You know, he was a very active champion.
Yeah.
And he deserves it. He deserves it. It was a good close fight, not a barn burner like it was supposed to be, but I could have had it going either way. The last one, I like the bad blood that's stirring up lately. It makes it more interesting, and hopefully these guys can put some more into that fight because like I said, that fight was a little bit not what I expected.
Little lackluster.
Exactly. So, like you said, they're going right back at it as a rematch. I believe Alex Pereira didn't come in training as he used to, so I think it's going to be a much different fight this time around. And I got you coming back. You know, the belt coming back to
once again
Brazil to Pereira, and I think you're going to see the difference in training. And I don't think Magomed Ankalaev has anything for him. So I see that fight ending in a third or fourth round KO.
Okay, good. All right. Well, that's because he is the underdog, but he's got a fresh new wig. Hopefully, he's got some fresh new skills to go with that. Well, that's the info I have. That he's got hair this time doing the switch.
I say he shaves it. I think he's going to shave it before. I think he's going to shave it.
Okay. All right.
We'll see.
Well, on the picture here, and I saw something on social media, and we all know social media doesn't lie. He said he's going, or he didn't say that. It was said that he's wearing the hair. So we'll see what happens with this one. I think last time, I think everyone expected Ankalaev to like stick to wrestling, but it didn't exactly go that way. Like he was somewhat getting the best of Pereira standing up.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, definitely. As I thought, more shots would be taken. Takedown. I don't even know if he got a takedown. I can't remember. Maybe he got one, but
okay.
It was nothing like people predicted. So I think it's going to just be a whole new fight. We can't even look at that first one to say this one's going to be the same thing because I think it's just going to be a totally different fight this time around.
Okay, so you have Pereira with a late knockout.
I do. I think he's back to the way he was training, and I think he has something to prove.
Yeah, I remember that first fight because a little bit before that fight, he seemed like a man about town. We would see him here and there, cards, and I mean I didn't think it was a big deal, but maybe it was.
I think he was in Australia 14 days out, or he was somewhere far abroad, a couple of weeks out. Other fighters, DC was making comments, and he had defended his title a lot. 7 of his 11 fights in the UFC have been for belts. When you're fighting that much for championships, it could be hard to get up to get that training.
Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the favorite here. I'm thinking From Russia with Love, and I'm gonna agree with you on that. I think when Russian fighters gone in once, they make adjustments. The second time around always seems a bit easier. We'll see if that's the case this time. I think Pereira might come in better prepared. So I'm excited about this. I don't think the last time says anything about how this one's gonna go. Most of the time, I would be like, "Oh, this is just gonna be another fast forward special," but I would say that maybe it wasn't the best, but I think this one has potential, and I think they have something to prove, both of them.
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
Let's move on.
So
What's up?
you're going with Ankalaev.
I'm gonna go with Ankalaev. I'm not saying I
Okay.
want him to win, but I'm because I do like exciting champions. Pajeda is a great champion. I do like his activity. I like everything about the guy. I'm not saying I want him to lose, and I do think business wise he's better suited. But I'm going to go with Ankalaev. I'm like I said, the Russians on the repeat. I'm going with
I
the
like
favorite
it.
on this one. I'm going with the favorite.
I like it.
We're gonna see.
I like it.
All right. We got two championship bouts here with the other one for the Bantamweight Championship of the World. Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen, number 4. We got Merab is a minus 380 favorite and a plus 300 dog for Sandhagen. And I would say that that's pretty appropriate. What about you?
Yeah, that's even a little bit too low for
Yeah,
Marab. I think by his winning streak, this guy hasn't lost in 7 years. He's on a 13-0 fighting win streak,
right.
and he's looked well with his last showing over O'Malley with that sub. He looks better than ever. So this is going to be his third defense. I like Corey Sandhagen. He's fought that tough road. He did have one shot prior to this against Peter Yan when Peter Yan was the face of that bantamweight division, and he ended up losing. So this is his second shot at it. But man, I love his courage and him taking the long road again. But I just don't see anyone beating Marab. And I know Marab looks like a 50-year-old, but he's only 34, brother. He's only 34.
He probably
So
feels like
he's
he's 24 because he's always in
yeah,
shape.
he's always ripped. He plays the role like he's a big drinker, but I don't buy it, man. I don't buy that he's a partier and he's out there late, man. I think he's shown to be doing the right thing. So I don't see Sandhagen even getting close or even having a moment in this fight. And I see Marab with another late submission or another skunk of 5-0, 45-50 in this fight.
Okay, yeah, I can totally see that. There's just Marab. I don't know if he drinks or not. I don't know if he just says that to mess with his opponents, get inside their head. But he's always in shape. He's a machine, and
Yep.
there's just nothing Sandhagen can bring to the table that Marab hasn't dealt with. And it's not like even like Marab has dealt with it. He's beat people at their own game. Nurmagomedov, he beat him at his own game. O'Malley, he can
Yeah.
beat him at his own game. He
Yeah.
he he can strike while mixing in the threat of the wrestling or of the ground, or just striking and just having the threat of it throws people on their heels. I think Nurmagomedov wasn't afraid of him, and he got out hustled and he got out wrestled
Yeah.
in that match. So
Yeah.
Sandhagen coming in and doing something different. He has a lot of tools, but he's long like O'Malley, and Marab's dealt with that. And I don't think he can wrestle as good as Nurmagomedov, and Marab's dealt with that. I know that
Yeah.
Sandhagen has some jujitsu. I'm not sure how good his jujitsu is, but I remember him saying when he lost to Sterling that his wrestling sucks. I'm sure he's much
Yeah.
better now.
Yeah, and with how you say he's long, he does have a 5-inch reach advantage, but I mean not a reach advantage in height. He's five
Right.
six to 5'11", but only a 2-inch reach difference to Sandhagen. So he may be shorter, but Sandhagen doesn't have that much reach on him.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know if he's gonna be able to bring it. You know what, Sandhagen, he tries. I like Sand, but he
Yeah,
always hits bumps in the road, and it just seems like that when he gets to that mountaintop, he always kind of slips at the top with Sterling, Jan, and he had he slipped with Nurmagomedov. So it's just
yeah,
it's a tough road, and he's taking the tough way up, but it always seems to slip. I don't think this is going to be any different. It's not really a slip. Marab is tough. That's a tough
oh
to fight
man,
for anybody.
yeah.
So I see it going that way. And you see it the same, right?
Yeah, I feel like I said his third defense. I feel he'll make his fourth on this one.
All right, I got Marab by second round sub.
Wow, good.
Yeah,
That's giving. Yeah, that's
yeah,
nice.
I think he's gonna go at him. I think it's gonna be too much for Sanhagen, and I think him being in like really good shape and probably like his skills somewhat peaking or maybe just after the peak. He's around peak performance right now. I just don't think it's gonna be enough, and it'll get him through the first round, but by the second round, it's just gonna be too much for him.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right, let's move on to our another one. Light heavyweight bout, former champion and a title contender. Light heavyweight bout, number two, Jiri Prohashka versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. at number four. And it looks like Jiri's Prohashka is a minus 180 favorite, plus 150 dog for Roundtree. How do you see this one going?
Man, this is a good one. Hopefully, we don't see any of these guys in the main event because someone pulls out or something.
Oh
I love
man.
this fight. Yeah, I love this fight. Both on the same road, both coming off a win of Jamal Hill,
Yep.
and both coming off a lot that the fight before, both of them losing to Pereira in that championship fight. Um, I like them both, man. I like Khalil's resurgence. I like what he showed against Pereira. You know, Yuri coming back to fight Pereira twice, not being able to get it done. So with this one, man, I based it off of who did better against Pereira and who's looking better to me. Leo lasted 5 rounds with Pereira, took some bombs. You know, Yuri got, I believe, knocked out in the second or third.
Right.
And on this one, man, I'm gonna have to go with the underdog again and Khalil.
Okay. Yeah. How do you think that's gonna go? You think it's gonna go all the way? 3 rounds only.
It's
These
only
guys.
3 rounds, Matt.
Yeah.
I can't. I wish they would have. You know, it's a third fight down on the card, so they have to make it 3 rounds. But I still think Khalil gets it done within the distance, man. His heavy hands and Yuri. I don't think Yuri's chin is the same anymore after those couple of knockouts that he's had. So I think Khalil can get it done in any of the one, two, or three. But I just don't see it getting out of going the distance.
Okay. So you think, yeah, so you think he's gonna take out Prohashka.
I do. I
This
do.
this was a tough one. This is see, there's a lot of questions here, and it's not so much where are these guys in their career? Because both of these guys have taken some damage. They've been near
Yes,
the top or at the top. This is a tough one. It's almost like a crossroads match. I was
exactly.
I was going back and forth on this one because I believe Jiri is the better fighter, but I don't. It's Roundtree. I was looking at the Pajeda fight, and I thought he was getting some shots in early on Pajeda, and it wasn't until the latter rounds that he really got beat up like badly. But
Yeah,
it wasn't until the third. I think the first two he was doing decent,
yeah, yeah,
and if that was not if that was a non-title fight and it was 3 rounds, he had a chance of winning that fight. Can he start the same way against Prohashka? And if he starts that way, will he knock him out? It's a tough one because I actually believe if it was a 5 round fight, Jiri could get him. But I'm not sure about a 3 round fight. I think I'm going to go with the underdog as well, Khalil Roundtree. I was going to go with
no,
Jiri, but I was like, I can't on a 3 round fight. It's just tough. And Jiri does, I'm not saying he's slow to get started. But I think he was a little slow against Rakic, and then he was able to
yeah,
take him out. But he can't start slow here at all. And Roundtree is not Rakic. So
exactly. And I'm glad you said that. We're thinking alike.
yeah.
Great minds think alike because that was one of my big factors of picking Roundtree was that fight between Yuri and Ratchet. I didn't like him in that fight, so that was one of the main reasons I took Khalil.
Well, that he was. Did it go to? I see. I can't remember. Was it a decision or I thought he knocked him out in the next?
He ended up beating him. I believe it was in the third round,
Oh,
and Yuri ended up coming out in that third round better and ended up finishing him.
oh no, no, it said right. Okay, Rakic. I got
He
Prohaska.
didn't.
Round two, KO.
Was it
KO.
the KO? Okay, so I got the round wrong, but he did. Let's see.
Yeah, I remember because I was like, oh shoot, it looks like Jury's done, and then because I wasn't a big fan of Rakic. He talks a lot of crap, and then he just came back and took him out, and I was like, oh damn, I remember that. But that first round, I thought Rakic had him. I don't know who won on the scorecards, but I remember I was thinking it wasn't looking good for Prohashka that night. But he came back. Good, but he can't be doing that against Khalil. I just don't think he can do that against him. And since then he's taking even more damage.
Yeah, it looks like Yuri was getting the better of him with a few more strikes. So I thought for some reason it went to the third round, but yeah, the second round, 3 minutes.
Okay. So we're going with Khalil Roundtree. I'm gonna go with a decision though. I'm not gonna go with a stoppage. I'm gonna go, but I think I picked this one. It was either this one or the next one that I picked for fight of the night. I think this one, I think they're gonna bring it. I think they have something not to prove, but I think these guys know that what's on the line for this one. Because if they whoever loses, I don't think it's gonna be either a tough road back to a title fight or it's just not happening anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right. So we agree on that one, Khalil. But you think Khalil might win by stoppage? Let's move on to the next one because the next one it's interesting too. Number 8, Josh Emmett in the featherweight division versus number 9, Yusuf Zalal, and it looks like Emmett is the underdog plus 330, but he's more well known and a minus
Yeah,
425 favorite in Zalal. I don't know about that. The Moroccan here.
yeah, yeah. This one wouldn't be a bad idea to put a couple of dollars on Josh Emmett. Not too many because Yusuf is a great young athlete, young fighter. He's 4-0 in the UFC. He does have some losses prior to that, but he is undefeated. But like you said, Josh Emmett, better well known. Josh Emmett's been in there, fought for the interim belt, lost to Yair. He's fought Ilya, lost to LaRon Murphy. He's got a sprinkled in win against Bryce Mitchell, his last four. He's
Right,
fought,
a devastating win against Bryce
yeah,
Mitchell. Oh my
I thought he,
gosh! I
I
thought
thought
he,
he killed him.
I thought
I
he,
thought he killed him.
I thought he knocked him into the next dimension. It was like Saturday, but it was a Sunday wherever Bryce Mitchell was. Man, damn.
Christ. So Josh Emmett definitely with the better fighters who he's been in there with, but 40 years old. Yusuf's at 29,
Oof.
and I just see Yusuf being like a fighter like LaRon Murphy, who Josh Emmett had trouble with. So on this one, man, it was tough. I like Josh. He has that devastating overhand. But with this one, I have to still go with the favorite in with Yusuf and laying that chalk down because I just see him as the same fighter as LeBron, and Josh Emmett just had nothing for. Yeah, he was getting some exchanges, but there was never a threat. So with this one, I am going with Yusuf.
Okay. All right. What do you think is going to be decisions? It's only 3 rounds.
Decision. I don't think Yusuf is gonna put himself out there. I'm sure whenever he's seen his fights, not just Bryce Mitchell, but Josh Emmett has laid the hammer on a lot of people and KO'd people. So I think he's just gonna stay away from him, box him, kickbox him, stay away from him, and then just go cruise to a decision, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, he is the heavy favorite. I don't. This one I had trouble with too because I don't
Yeah,
know a lot about Zalal. I've seen him. I'm not saying he's not good. He is. He's just there's nothing that makes me think that he's unbeatable right now. Emmett, I know he's older. He looks like he's in great shape. I saw a little bit on him. Hopefully that's not fake, but he looks like he's in great shape.
yeah,
He's had some really good competition. He's fought really good to the top guys. I think Zalal really hasn't. And I think Josh Emmett, I think his back is against the wall and he knows that he can't either he's being used as a gatekeeper here. And unless he wants to keep being a gatekeeper, he's got to win this. So I'm gonna go with Josh Emmett. I don't think Zalal has seen anybody like Josh Emmett. And I'm not saying Emmett's the better fighter. I just think Zalal might get a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe it's a little bit too much too soon for this young guy as far as like the limelight main card. And Emmett's been there before. I think he's got devastating power. and it takes one mistake. He's got that eraser, and we might see Zalal get erased on this one. But I can see Emmett losing, and then he lands that eraser, and when he finds it. So I'm gonna go with Josh Emmett on this one, and I'm gonna go with maybe third round KO stoppage, some
Wow,
sort of stoppage. Yeah, I'm gonna
that's
go with
awesome.
Josh. What's that?
I believe it. I believe it. I believe there's levels. There are levels, but I just see Yusuf. He'll be a contender in these
Right.
next coming in my opinion. But so I think he knows it. I think this is his time to shine. And Josh Emmett's a big name to have on your resume.
Oh, it's a great name. It's a great name, and it is the way he should be going. But sometimes you hit those, you hit those bumps, and you got to get over them. And I think Zalal will be fine. He'll learn, and he'll if he loses, I just see that I see it going that way.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
gonna be
man,
a good one.
that was
I'm
tough.
excited. I'm excited about that one. I love seeing people like Emmett and Zalal mixing it up at the end of a career, maybe at the beginning of the big rise, getting over in wrestling they call it getting over, or
Yeah,
they put them over. And you know what? That's one thing that I mean UFC has it, but in other combat sports they've lost that. You why I know nobody wants to lose. I know this. But if you're the star, you need to put over somebody. I'm not saying to lose on purpose. I'm saying you need to take those hard fights.
take those
And
fights. Yeah, yeah.
take those fights. And I mean, if you're call you a gatekeeper or not, but it is your job to make that young talent and put them over if they can get you. Don't avoid those. And Josh Emmett never does. Good for him. I can't wait to see. He's always exciting. All right, let's
He is
move on.
always exciting.
Yeah, let's move on to the next the last bout of the main card, and then we'll see which ones we want to talk about on the prelims. But I mean, like I'm saying, this is the first fight of the main card, and
Yeah.
I think this is exciting. This is a good one too. Is it Abbas? It's Magomedov.
Abuz.
Abus,
Dana White
sorry.
calls it Abuz.
Okay.
Magomedov.
Middleweight bout number 14, Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer. We're gonna see. There's gonna be some questions here. We might get some answers. Plus two, underdog plus 200 for Magomedov and a minus 245 favorite Joe Pyfer. How do you see this going after the Gastelum win? Right?
Piper beat
Yeah.
Gastelum. Yeah. So, man, yeah, that 270 is a little. I see why Joe Piper's the favorite, but 27. I have it at 270. That's a little high for me. Boost is 4-2 in the UFC, and he's only lost to Borjalo and Sean Strickland.
And Strickland. Yeah.
As Strickland. So that those are some who those guys are. Um,
Yeah. Sean
with
Strickland is a
Piper,
former champion. Bohalio was almost a contender.
almost, but he'll be all right, like you said
Yeah.
before.
He's
He's
still
gonna
young.
be all right. Piper, he has that hype train. People like him, and he has exciting fights. He's 5-1 in the UFC. I don't know how he lost to Hermanson. Hermanson just broke him. So that if he's been broken once, there's always that question if he can be broken again. But he's looked good. These guys actually have one common person they
Opponent.
fought. Yeah, which is your guy from a couple of weeks ago, Dustin Stolfus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Stolfus actually beat Piper on the contender.
Oh, is it that one?
Yeah, Piper got knocked. He got knocked. He got knocked out,
Yeah.
and Magomedov actually beat Stolfus in a decision, but he did beat him. So with that though, it's a great fight. Like I said, a little too high for me on Piper, but I'm still gonna take him. I think
Right.
that loss did do something for him. He fought Gastelum. It was a great fight. Got hit, so he's back in there. I like Piper to continue on and make a good showing of this and show that he wants that number next to him, because it's surprising to me that he still doesn't have a number next to his name.
I was a bit surprised too. Gaslam looked great last time, and Piper handled him pretty easy. I won't say super easy, but yeah, he did, and so much that Gaslam didn't even try to wrestle with him. So it must have been trouble for for
Yeah.
for Gaslam. So yeah, what do you think? Is you think it's going to go the distance, 3 rounds, or you think he's going to be able to take him out?
I got this one going to decision.
Okay.
I don't I think they're gonna kind of just like the gasoline fight. They're gonna be exchanging, and I just don't see any of these guys getting knocked out. You know,
Okay.
so I see it as a 2-1 or 3-0, and Piper, clearly winning with Abus getting some hits in and having some moments during the fight, but in the end, I feel Piper's just a better fighter, younger. Piper's 29, Abus is about to be 36, which is not too over the hill, but you
Especially at a
know,
higher weight or middleweight. Yeah.
yeah, and his record, he's got a lot of miles. I don't know what type of fights he's been in, but he has 35 fights on his resume. So, and being 35, almost 36, I just see Piper as a fresher, younger, and I don't want to say hungrier fighter, but just a better fighter.
Right. So yeah, so Piper, the thing about Piper is that he does have things go on. It seems like he hits roadblocks as well, and he has to get over them. Kind of like we were talking about Zalal. I think
Yeah,
Piper, he has all the tools, but sometimes maybe he gets in his own head, and
exactly.
those
Yes,
things get in his way. The Hermanson thing was, like I didn't think it was
crazy.
gonna. It was that was a tough one to take. I'm sure. I think he learned from it. I think he's taking his time more. I know he has that power. I know he has that eraser, but I think he's fallen out of love with it just enough that he needs to be. I think he's trying to be more of a complete fighter, or at least a better strategist there. Abus is a good fighter as well, and he has fought former champions like Strickland, and he and Bahalio is an up
Yeah,
and comer and still
yeah,
up there. I mean, so is Strickland, but he's newer blood, I should say. But Strickland is no joke, and I think Strickland is actually very similar to Piper. Sometimes it seems like Piper's maybe like the new version of a Strickland. So Piper is the favorite. I think he's I think Abus could present some problems for Piper, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I see Piper getting to him enough that he will take a little bit of not so much chances, but I think he's going to get some confidence by the second round, and I see him taking out Magomedov by about the second round, maybe the third, but I see a
wow,
stoppage. I see a stoppage.
wow,
Piper knows he's on the bottom of he's on the bottom of the main card, and I think he's going to try to make a little bit of a statement here, get that number for sure. He's going to
yeah,
come in, he's going to take out the number 14 guy. I'm not saying he has anything to prove, but he knows that this is a business, and I think he knows what he has to do or what he I think he wants to do it. It's not so much that he
yeah,
has to. So yeah, but it's exciting. It's an exciting fight, and I'm excited to see what happens. I see similarities in like Piper and Zalal as far as like because I wouldn't say that they were. I would say Piper was more of a hype train than Zalal, but you can't hit roadblocks, and it's you never know.
yeah,
And Hermanson he
yeah.
was a veteran that was able to get over on Piper.
And
So
especially with some like Hermanson, it's clearly that Piper's a better fighter, I believe, than Hermanson.
right,
But Hermanson is just a dog, and he didn't win because he was a better fighter. He won because he was just mentally stronger, and he went through that fire.
right. Sometimes it doesn't matter who the better fighter is in general.
Yeah,
Sometimes it matters who the better fighter is just that night. And that night it was Jack. And he
yeah,
was able to pull it off. Yeah. I don't know why people sometimes think that like, oh, well, so and so beat so and so, but that doesn't mean they're the better fighter.
yeah,
It just they were better that night. It just happens. But I think that night I know it was Jack's night that night, but I think Piper learned from it and he's gonna move on. So we'll see. And I'm excited to see where he goes. All right, on the prelims, is there anything in the prelims that looked, enticing here?
of course, I like Austin Vanderford making his second appearance in the UFC. He had a great first fight. He had a stoppage, and I believe he was an underdog that night. So it's always he's always famous. They always call him Mr. Van Zant. But he had a second round KO, and I see something from this guy. I like him, man. He's got good
Okay, good.
wrestling. He's a heavy hitter. He's tough as nails. I think he's always in the line. You know, you're married to Paige Van Zandt, who's super famous. You know, everyone loves her. But I think this guy's got some great talent, man, and time for him to break out and really show what he's made of. You know, he's not too young. He's right in the middle, and he's fighting. What's it, Ramiz Brahamish?
Yeah,
Brahamash?
Brahima.
Yeah, Brahima, who's been in the UFC and also fought. So you know, I just like I like seeing that his second fight coming from a different banner, and you know how people do on their first fight from different banners. So he was one of the very few to get a W, a knockout win on his debut. So I'm excited to see Austin and see if he can continue climbing the ranks up there and fighting against someone who's had more than a handful of fights in the UFC.
Yeah, I remember that fight. I forget who he, but I remember the whole Page Van Zandt. They were making reference, and yeah, he looked great. So yeah, that's an exciting fight. I'm going to talk a little bit about how do you think Patchy Mix is going to rebound after that first L in the UFC. I'm not sure what was going on with him because I'd never seen him look like that.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you know, when the lights turn on, you never know what's gonna happen. But you know, Patchy Mix is a world champion. I think he's gonna bounce back easily. And I don't know who this Jacob Wicklax is,
Yeah.
but if you just look at it, you know, I got Patchy Mix at a minus 330. So I think people know Patchy Mix, real fans know Patchy Mix. So I think they want him. Not saying there's any tomato cans in the UFC, but I think they threw him a easier fight than his last fight against Mario Bautista. Mario Bautista, you know,
Right.
uh,
Right. That
he was
that
a
Batista's
Mario's a
he's a good fighter.
yeah, he's good. He's good. He's good. So you know, I think they gave him a favorable fight. They want to see him win so they can make Patchy Mix against a name fighter that's going to make more money. Because again, like I said,
Right.
Patchy Mix is well known and a former world champion, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the lights were a little bright, but Bautista's not. Maybe they weren't. Bautista's just a good fighter, so
He
it could
is.
have been. It could have been a bit of both in that one. So we'll see how he rebounds. I think he'll be good. The thing about it is, I think he may think he has something to prove in this one, because of that that stumble in his debut. But we'll see. I think it'll be good. But I want to see if he has a little bit of something to prove. Maybe he's gonna bring something that he doesn't usually feel like he has to, and he'll make maybe it'll be something exciting or something devastating.
Yeah.
Real quick before we finish up here, only because I've always kind of liked Macy Chasson, and she's taking on Yana Santos, number 5 Macy Chasson in the women's bantamweight bout, number 10 Yana Santos. Who do you think is gonna win on that one?
I was looking at this one, man. I started following Yana more when Thiago was big, Thiago Santos,
Right.
because they're married. They're
Yeah.
married. So I've always liked Yana. She's tried to fight. She's been in there for a while in the UFC. But Macy Sasson, man, I really like her, man. She's 34. She's been in the UFC, I believe, for a couple of years now,
Yeah.
and still got a lot to show. She is coming off an L from when she fought Caitlin Vieira, but I think it's her fight to lose, and I think she'll show on Saturday and beat Yana.
Yeah, this is early prelims. She's a minus 198 favorite. I've ever seen Macy Chasson in the Ultimate Fighter. I believe she was in the Ultimate Fighter. I always thought highly of her. I always thought she should have probably done better than she did because I thought she had a lot of tools, and you know she's got a lot of length. But I think she's going to be able to get the veteran Yana, get the better of her. I see a decision, but I do think it's not going to be controversial. I see Macy Chasson winning, but I do like seeing her fight, and we'll see how much more she has left. So yeah, the whole card in the prelims, and this is an early prelim. It's really exciting. I can't wait to see this card.
Let me ask you about one. What do you think?
Yeah.
You know, it's been up and he had a lot of hype. I know you didn't like his original trainer. Is he still with them? But Edmund Shabazian.
Okay. So I don't know if he's still with his striking coach. I'm not sure what kind of coach he was, but I know Edmund. I know
Edmund.
not him. Edmund is his was his striking coach, or is his, I don't know if he still is. From what I've seen out of Shabazian lately, I don't think he is his coach anymore. I think he
Oh,
switched,
okay.
which is, if he did, that explains it. I don't, Edmund, the striking coach, I've never seen why he gets people. He had Rousey, and he was, after everything that Ronda and Rousey did in the UFC, he could never get her striking to be anywhere near elite. And they had the resources, they had the time, okay, because she was well ahead of everybody else in skill, and her judo carried her, and she had time to learn striking better. And she's a really good athlete. Why didn't she learn? I don't think,
Yeah.
and maybe it was Ronda. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not in the gym. But what I do
Yeah.
know is that I have seen, he used to train a guy, Edmund used to train a guy named Banez Matarosian, a boxer. And Banez he's a good fighter. But he was with Ed, and I always thought it held him back. I'm not a big fan of Edmund, the striking coach. I forget his name. But anyway, Edmund Shabazian, he has looked better lately. I'm gonna Google this thing and see if he's still being coached, and
It just
we'll
says
see.
he says Extreme Couture. He's at Extreme Couture, so he might be with Sean's coach that he had a. He's still with them, but I can't remember his name. He's well known.
His name is Edmund. He's well known. Yeah, he's been around.
No, but
And,
Shabazian. It says
oh,
he's with his team is Extreme Couture.
I don't think he's with Edmund Tarverdian.
Tarvidian.
Tarvidian.
Tarverdian. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I don't think he's with Shabazian still. Let me look at it. No, he's no longer with Edmund Shabazian, striking coach. That's why. That's why he started winning. That's why he started winning. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk crap, but Jesus, dude, he's. I would let me just say this. If I had some resources, he would not be my striking coach. He just wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be my striking coach. And it's like he's like in LA. I mean, you have a plethora of coaches there. Nah, no. That's why he's winning. I think Shabazian's gonna win, just because he's not. That's not his striking coach anymore. He's fighting Andre Muniz. I just see Shabazian's probably a little past. He can't. I don't know if he'll ever get to the top. He probably had this. He probably had the skill to get there, but his striking was never on point, and
Yeah.
that's why he looks better now. So yeah,
Yeah. I agree.
but good
I
one to
agree.
bring up.
Yeah. I
All
agree.
right. All right, Matt. So before we end the show here, let's just talk about last week real quick. Olberg Reyes. Olberg took out Reyes. What'd you think?
It was a great fight. I expected that. I like that Dom took this fight to see where he really was at during the second stint at the title, but he got shown where he was really at, and Oberg is a new thing. And I expect Oberg to get the title shot. Granted, if this isn't a draw this weekend coming up, I see Oberg as
Right.
the next title challenger. I like it, man. I like it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think if Ankalaev wins, definitely Olberg's next. I even think if Pereira is able to take out Ankalaev, or there's no controversy, I think Olberg might still be next.
Yeah,
So yeah, I am, as a fan, I want to see Olberg versus Pereira, and it would be great if it
that
was
would
for
be
the
that'd
championship.
be crazy.
I mean, I would Ankalaev as well, but I'd rather see Pereira versus Olberg. I think that's gonna be a burner, man. That's gonna be a burner of a fight if it happens.
Yes.
But either way, I think Olberg, no matter what happens, I think he deserves a title shot, unless something crazy happens in the main event. But yeah, it was good. It was a good fight by him. Seemed the main event didn't seem to bother him at all. Was able just to take out Reyes, who to me is the only man that's really ever beat John Jones. Took
Oh
him out.
man, blasphemy. Let me ask you one thing though before we head out. Uh, do you think Dom ever had a chance? Do you think he did anything wrong to not give himself a chance?
Against Olberg.
Yes. Do you think he just
Um,
came out too flat? Just was too scared? Was
no,
just or there was no chance from anything he did? or anything he was gonna do, and like to get Oberg.
I think Reyes was doing what he was trying to make it a fight. I think he was trying to maybe even take him into deep waters a bit. I think Oberg is too strong. I think he's too young. He, and Reyes has a suspect chin, and I don't think he used
Yeah,
to have it. I think he got it after the John Jones fight. That's Reyes at one point was he's still a really good fighter, but at one point he was at the top. I think he was probably the best light heavyweight in the world.
yeah,
And I think he gave everything he had in that John Jones fight. And I think he left a piece of himself in the octagon that night. And he has never been the same. He's won since then. I just don't think he's
yeah,
ever been the same fighter ever again. And once you lose that, and then he fought Prohashka, who just beat the crap out of him, I think it just took more out of him. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he gave everything he had against Jones, and although I thought he won the fight, he didn't. He didn't really win in the long run, and
yeah,
that's why I was kind of like hurt about the decision because I've seen when people give up, they give everything they have for that one fight, and yeah, he was never the same again. He was champion
I
to me. He
agree.
was champion that night, but he was never champion again. He doesn't have, and that's why people love John Jones because he has staying power like that. He's never
Yeah,
been, he's been in some tight situations, but he's never been affected that way. And that's why people love John Jones, and that's why he has the accolades he has. And I'm not saying that Reyes is even better fighter than John Jones. I'm just saying on that one night he was, or that's what I thought. But either way,
it was close.
well,
It was close.
that's a conversation for another time. So yeah, that was a good one, and yeah, we'll see where Olberg goes from here. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot. That's the show. We're gonna call it there, and we're gonna see how these we got we got some like contrasting
We
things
got a
going on
couple,
here, and
yeah.
we're gonna see.
We had a couple
Uh,
different picks, the different
yeah,
ones.
we're gonna see. Yeah, and yeah, I can't wait to see which ones happen in the main because the whole main we went over, and I think it's tough. We're gonna see. We had some contrasting picks, and I can't wait to see what happens. All right, man.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll try to get the next episode out a little bit sooner. But thanks for watching. All right, man. See you later.
Peace.